All right, Grandpa, if you want to state your name and
Italian or English?
you could do both if you want.
Calogero Ricotta, which in English translated Charles Ricotta. I was born in Sicily, which is an isle in the foot of Italy. I was born in a town named Alimenusa, which is in the province of Palermo. Palermo, province which means like a county. And a little town of this, when it was full populated, talk about when it 45 or 50 like that, used to be over 2,000 people. And we knew each other like a family, you know, everybody.
Mm.
And I grew up in there and worked at the farm, which actually was almost like a farm at that little town, because of the edge of the town was all the field and the farm and everything was right there. And the town originally was like a ranch. They used to raise sheep, cattle. It was a spot where it was a spring water, supply of water where they could, you know, water the animals, everything. So it was originally started out that way. It's a ranch, and then before you know, it up to be the town, Alimenusa. So I was there, we worked at the field with my father. That's all we knew. We knew nothing else. And then, towards the end, I think it started to modernize. They started doing machinery, do the work in the farm with tractor, harvest machine, all this stuff like that. And I don't want to have nothing to do with cultivate a field, you know, and nothing to do with the farm thing. So I was interested in mechanical stuff, even a wheelbarrow with a wheel turn, or bicycle with a wheel turn, anything like that. I was, you know, made my brain spin for somehow. And the first tractor was in a town. I got over there. A lock. And I knew exactly how everything was work. And I learned how to operate this tractor in not even a week. I was 16 years old. So at the end of the year, going towards the next year, the owner of this tractor asked my father, and he say, we'd like to have a Calogero working for us, for the tractor. I said, you know, my father said, well, you don't know nothing about tractor, thing like that. I said, oh yeah, he does. He does more than every one of us. And they were a lot of partners, you know, but nobody knew a machine or anything. And they used to, I started to work with that. We work from 5 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Summertime, I'm in the only area about not even 4 hours. At the end of the day to wash up, eat your supper, and then go to bed, which you would never go to bed because we were spending the time in the field. Where they plow the land, it's always slept. You know, run it up with some of the straw, whatever it was left of the one they cut of the weeds, run it up with the things, time we get a bullock bag, fill it up with the straw for pellet, and they was all bad. You know, that's why I did it until my father then he bought it with another guy, which he didn't say nothing to me. He did everything in hush, but I didn't care because me and my father would never talk, and the truth. Well, he bought a tractor with the harvest machine with another guy. Well, what happened, I ended up do the work for my father part, and the other guy, he hired, which now is over here, you know Cosimo Django? You know Joe Django, the guy who did the concrete over your father's house? Oh, the driveway? Well, he's a brother. He was to work with me, you know, with our tractor. Well, my father never told him anything, what kind of deal he made with his partners, anything, how much he paid for, how much you give to this guy. Well, he never paid me. I mean, there was in a house with no money coming in, so he couldn't pay me, you know. The other guy was working for the other guy, every month he get paid. Well, and then, when I went in the service, which they sent me the draft card, was when we get it set up, level the machine up and everything for the harvest season, where they harvest all the wheat, which is the grain, when we get the grain, separate the straw, the ash, you know, the separate thing. So I put the grain in the bag and they go. When they started doing that, they sent me this draft paper. So I had to leave right away. I had about 3 days to leave. So I left at everything like that, which I didn't mind, because I worked for my father. He never communicated, never talked to each other, never told me anything, what's going on. So it just was work, that's it, work, work. No pay, because I was part of the family. Then I go on a service, and then was 1957 or 58. I spent 2 years in the army.
And this is in Italy?
In Italy, yeah. So I went in the army. When I went in the army, they asked me, they had everything marked, what I was to do at home, what kind of work I was to do. And then there was a tractorist, I know, I mean, it was work with tractors. This was in the paper. And because of that, and then they put him in a department of some more vehicles, which they had tanks, they had a half track. You ever see those half track? They got a tire in the front, the tracks in the back. Mm-hmm. I had one of these. I had a tank, one of those half track. I had one of those they call a tractor, which was you know the hell of those big thing 4-wheel drive, what they call? Was the Unimog? They call tractors there. Well, this thing was tall, the tire about, you know, this high. Well, they couldn't pull anything. I mean, they had a thing was 12 gears, and they all could go reverse or forward. If you, with any gear you had it in, you couldn't go, you couldn't take off. You know, have to go on the first gear to start the rolling. Like in most of the car or the trucks over here, if you know ever the first gear there, you try to pull the clutch, it can't get out. Well, those things are so powerful that with the fifth gear, put it in, tug off, not even a jolt, nothing, keep it going. I mean, they go up like incline, like that was 30% incline. And the behind, you pull a contra-area cannon, because a cannon they shoot the airplane. And they, I mean, you go incline like this, it's kind of scary. Plus, they had behind the seat, they had a lever. You pull the lever up. This is called rear intertrage lock, which means lock the rear gears. You can't roll back. That's it. Even if you release like this, they slide maybe, but doesn't roll back. And I had one of those what the hell they call over here. Maybe a better name is like a power wagon. Yeah, the winch, they got all the kind of attachment, you know. And this, all this vehicle was on my name. And I had no time. I mean, this every weekend, you know, regardless of the weather, you had to wash all those things. I mean, I said, what the hell? And I hate every minute of it. I said, what the hell? And the only thing there was in our favor was in the winter time, in North Italy, it get cold. A lot of cold than over here in the winter time. We used to go inside there, you know, go behind the truck or in the cab or start the motor, stay warm. It's how we used to warm up. A bunch of guys go inside, and one guy pretended to wash the cars and get busy, and then some stay warm in the cab. That's what we do. Then maybe I was almost, the first year was already finished. I was going toward the second year. And this marshal, which is a grade above a sergeant, he called me one day. He became a friend, you know. And he said, you know, if you do that, wash the car, you know, what you can do is get a bucket of water, put a teaspoon of diesel in the water, get a rag, dip in the water, squeeze, and go over that truck. Do you believe the little diesel they put in the water, that damn paint shine. And the army vehicle shine, I mean, it lasts all week. You don't have to touch, you don't even have to get out of the barn, they call it the barn where they store the stuff, you know. And I have to do anything. He said, well, he told me, this is what the hell, why you got to work your ass off, you don't need it. So the green paint that they use, who knows how many coat of paint there and there, and the little diesel, I guess, soften up the surface of the paint, they give it a shine. You know, wash it. And then when I started in military, I couldn't drive anything, you know, because of what to do the tractor, you know, when I delivered fuel, you know, I drove a truck, cars, anything, it was not trouble driving. Well, because in the military, you need a different license. If you have like a car license with a rear wheel drive, you cannot drive a Jeep, because a Jeep is a four-wheel drive. You need a different license for four-wheel drive. I spent over 12 months to go to school, driving school. Used to put in, the sergeant used to put in 8 to 10 guys in the back of the truck and go in a farm field and then teach you how to drive. First it was a truck with a rear wheel drive, then the Jeep, and then it started with the tractor, which is the Unimog with the trailer, and the kind of thing it pulled behind. They needed different licenses for the trailer too. I mean, when you know how to drive, what the hell you don't need all that crap? Well, just the military, you gotta do everything by the book. That's what happened. You know, I spent most all my time just to learn how to drive. But then I said, what the hell, I was tired of the army, I was tired because they destroyed my life. What the hell is, what's the point when my life started to have a future, or my train with the mechanical stuff and the tractor, you know, I couldn't make good money. And then what the hell, if I'm there 2 years after that, I couldn't do a penny. Then after the one, I get back, finish the service, I started working for a different guy. A guy from within, that used to live in the next town over, which is Monte Maggiore. and I worked for them. At the time, they used to. I wasn't the only one who worked there. Nobody else. They had the same thing: a tractor, a harvest machine. When I come out from the service, they were looking for mechanic, to run the machine. Because he had a nephew who used to do it the year before, a couple of years before. I guess they got in a fight, and the guy, he did a few things to loosen up, become some bolt, this way they couldn't run the machine. So they come and get me, and they find out that I could handle that, so they hired me. I stayed there for the rest of my time. They used to pay me 100,000 lira a month. A month, they talk about dollar. This is nothing. My Italian money, it was a lot of money. And you know what happened? All the money that I earned, the work I did, the trip, come over here, the airplane trip, then they cleaning me up. That's it. Come over here, then the worst thing that ever happened to me. Not happened. I was here already. The language. The depressed, the worst thing. I said, my God, had a bunch of cousins that were over here, 5 years. They're bringing me around just to make a friend. What the hell, I can't make a friend. I don't understand the word that they say. Get together, laugh, and do this or do that. I stand there, then I come, sit, look. Depressing. I say, what the hell am I doing over here? I'm 24 years old already. I said, I don't think I'm going to stay here. For 6 months was the toughest one. I said, what am I doing? I don't know anybody. I can't get a good job because what the hell, because I go. And then end up working for this Italian company which make a macaroni. What's the joy of macaroni? So I go, when I started work, at least I was happy, started to make a lot of money. Which wasn't much, minimum wage, so it was.
So, when was this around? 65?
Yeah.
And you were 24?
Yeah, I came here when I was 24.
Okay, if we could take a step back, I just want to talk about a little more in Italy. So what year were you born?
I was born December 3, 1939.
So 1939. So when you were growing up, it was during World War II.
Well, it was at the end.
It was the end of World War II.
The end, because I remember the soldier. I remember when the American went there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, those days, the car they had it, they only drive in a road. You don't see a car in the field, in the mud or anything. No, even in the summertime. One of the Americans took over they wore cars, trucks, Jeep, soldiers all over the field. Everybody say, oh my God, how the hell are they going there with the vehicles, With the first thing I've ever seen. You never saw a vehicle off of the road. That's when the American was there. Then towards the end, when the war was over, they had a crew of American soldiers. They go around every little town to clean up all the leftover ammunition, bomb, whatever equipment they had left it over.
Mm-hmm.
Go over and whatever they could take, they take. If you couldn't, they exploded right there. And time I could hear wherever we live, and maybe maybe half a mile away, there was an olive orchard. The trees are very close. Right in those trees, under those trees, it's already where the depot, they deposit off of the ammunition. So when they started exploding those things, they used to come close to the town where we were, we were the first house at the end of the town. So they come over there, sit with us, and then the shade. My grandfather was there, which he could speak English, because he came over here 4 times. And he was talking to those soldiers, you know. Come over there and used to give them wine. Some of them they could make them a little tipsy, you know, because they get up and start wiggle a little bit. And my grandfather was laughing about it. And I used to the wine, you know. Well, they loved my father because he could talk to them, you know, he could communicate. And they gave it when they left, they gave an army blanket to my father, which those days you couldn't buy anything. No blanket, no clothes, no shoes. Everybody had money, but you couldn't buy anything. There was nothing to buy. Stores, what store? It's nothing left in that. You know, it's the way it was. And I think they clean up everything. Then they could see the scraps, you know, fly in the air, a mile in the air. We whistle, and then after a while, look at it, boom, fall. I mean, then the people, after they left, people were going around with a basket, the summer thing, to collect the scrap and the steel. Shoe for money. They bring in a scrapyard, and they give a couple of cents, you know, for us. And then many times, you know, they clean up all the shit around, you know, steel is all over the place. It was a bad time. There used to be people from the big city, people with money, and they get out of the city, they come in a small town, because the small town, they know there's old farmer, so they live in a farm, and they have food. They have a grain, they make bread, they got fava beans, chicha beans, lentil, anything that you can grow in a farm, in a small town, you can get it. You don't starve in a small town. It's all the people from the big city move in a small town. Well, then the thing really got tight. I mean, the food was scarce for everybody. Even the people who had the food, they try to hang on for themselves. You know, you're not gonna give it away to nobody. And you could see young kids, girls, boys, even growing up, go in a dump where the people dump all the garbage, you know, leftover stuff, refuse from the kitchen, which was not much of that. And you could see people pick up orange peel, potato peel out of the dump, clean it up like that, and they eat it. I said, my goodness to God. And when I see this, oh my God.
So they were starving?
Oh yeah. And that's where they live. And there wasn't no place in the town actually there wasn't no hotel or no place to sleep. No, they used to sleep in a barn where people keep the hay or the straw for the animal, and they sleep there. But they were happy to have a place to sleep at night, you know, and struggle for food, do work for you and things like that. They survive.
Yeah, tell me some more about your grandfather's. You said your grandfather spoke English?
Oh yeah.
He spoke English well?
Well, yeah, probably better than I do. You know?
Tell me about how he was making friends with some of the American soldiers.
Well, he communicated with him. You know, he talked to him. He invited because he lived in a different part of the town. Well, the shop, because he was a carpenter, the shop was 3 blocks away from our house, you know. And he come and eat with us. Especially he knew there was his friends there, you know, and they communicated, talked to these guys, you know. And they give a glass of wine and they talk and they talk and they talk. You know?
So they would sort of barter back
Yeah,
and forth,
yeah. I
give
mean,
each other gifts and
they
stuff.
communicate. And I don't know what it's saying. You know, well, you know, they talk. They talk. Okay.
Yeah, I got something here about. I think it's a World War II story about when the Nazis were
Oh,
occupied.
oh yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, the Nazi, what they call the nuclear. The nuclear a team of a Nazi that walk around with the boots about this size and the shoes, the bottom of the boots, honest to God, it looked like they were, I don't know, armor steel or whatever. They walk in the street, it feel like a nice an armor car. Not just to pay attention, the shot, you know, these stupid people. It's a way to terrorize the people. If they say something right or wrong, you better do it because of the beat the shit out of you. You know? There was a guy that was to work with my father as a partner. Because after the war, nobody had a true mule because they had to have a true mule or true horse or true cow, whatever, to plow the land. So my father was to work with this guy, you know, and they worked together. Well, they wanted the grain, and then so what they do is check everybody's house to see how much grain you added. Now they count how many members of your family you got, so they figure out how much grain you need for each person. So I give you got 4 people, 2 bushel of grain is enough for you. You got you know. So I figure out that way. For this guy was him and his mother, a tough guy, big guy, I mean, and you don't want to give it. You don't want to give it the grain. So he resists. I mean, they beat him up so bad with the big thing they had on, like him in a hat. I mean, he survived, but then about 2 years later, he had a pain that he couldn't resist it. All the way spinning around, you know, falling. And then finally one day, he went to bed, they stay in bed screaming, and they stay like that. The movement dead. I mean, a terrible death. This was less about 2 weeks. The excruciating pain that poor guy had, and they finally died. You know, they messed up his brain with the whacking, you know, the beat they gave it to the guy. They were animals. So they had the nuclear, the German, you know, the Nazi. Well, my grandfather outsmarted him, you know. What he was doing before the machine started, you know, harvest the wheat, everything, long before that. They used to harvest stuff with the mule, run over the mule, you know, over the wheat, the wheat crumbled up with the worst mule wolves. And then after the while, then we grind it up, they throw it in the wind, and the grain won't win, and the show go the other way. That's how he used to clean the grain. Well, you know, he was doing, he used to have a mule with the care of the water. He bring the water from home to the farm. Well, he had this jug, which was a clay jug. Well, when they go in the farm, it was to bring water. When they was going home, pretending to go get more water, he fill it up in the jug with the grain, you know? And what he did, he filled it up with those a big barrel, wine barrel, you know, fill up with the grain, and then they put in a corn and in the barn, and they pile up all the hay, straw, and everything, food for the animal. You know, put over there, you know, and they got a barrel. What the hell, you put a 400 gallon of wine in there. That means a lot of room for grain. So they did.
So this is because you had to hide it.
Yeah, he had to hide. He had to be smart enough to hide so he couldn't find. You know, if you go over there, poke a thing like that in the straw, you're not gonna find because the thing is 20 feet bare with the straw.
Right.
You know, you fill up with the mattress because of the law was, no matter what, you fill up your mattress. The bed, no matter what you hide in the bed, they can't touch the bed. So I fill up with the mattress with the grain too. Which a mattress, you know, it's to put a lot of room in there too, you know. And they fill up with that, get to the point at the end of the war. A lot of people, they reach to the point they run out of grain, even if it was a little town, all the way a little, you know, extra. A lot of people that run out of food too. Well, he was smart enough, you know, and to figure out a way.
You outsmarted the Nazis.
How to smell the nice, yeah. And the hell, he survived, he beat them, you know. Not because he beat it by fighting, because the fight, you know, didn't go nowhere. Like they beat your brains like the other guy, you know. And that's the way you do. What you gonna do is you other smart that way.
So tell me some more about the subterfuge with the Nazis. I heard something about a bishop at a church signaling the occupation.
Well, when the Nazis was there was a priest, which is above a priest. I don't know how they call it. How they call it, Monsignor or something like that. Well, when the Nazis was still there, and the American was flying around, you know, with the airplane.
And she was doing bombings and stuff.
And everybody was in panic, going to farm and all that. And he used to say, "Don't go on the farm, stay home. You're not gonna bomb home." And they got all these white sheets. He had a balcony, maybe the size of 3 houses, because I live in a big house, and the balcony all the way across. And he spread all these white sheets in there. And one of the airplanes come by, just a wiggle thing like air out the sheets, you know. And meantime it was a single, the American, you know, it's okay with that, you know. That's what they do, you know.
So it was like peace.
Yeah,
Right.
a peace sign, you know.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any, I know you were young during World War II, but do you have any like direct recollections of seeing any Nazis? Like,
we used to.
Were you scared?
Well,
you remember being terrified?
No, because they knew where to go. You know, they never bother women or children. You know, they knew where to go. They would go to the mill where the people grind up the grain for the flour. You know, they would go there and stay there all night. You know, if you make a shoe, the person who was grinding up the grain, you already paid that. You know, I see how much grain you got over here, and the limit they say, you got too much grain. Where do you get us grain from? Or if you got like a stash someplace, all the time they come out with the grain. I mean, they everything tightly controlled. I mean, the people, they were petrified, you know. My uncle, the same guy who cooked the box, they were the hands in there, you know, the same one. Well, he was the youngest one of the three brothers. He went in the forest, he cut some woods, you know, branches and stuff like that. That's what they used it there. They used it there for cooking. The oven, heat up in the oven for make a bread, cook the food, and that's all they use, wood.
Yeah.
Well, the guard could never bother anybody. Well, just at that time, something, they get maybe they used to, when they show something, to just grab my uncle, they arrest him. My own town, it wasn't no jail because it's so small. Well, they brought him the next time, they put him in jail.
They arrested him for taking the wood?
Yeah, cutting the woods with no permit. It wasn't no permit. You go, the owner of the forest was a rich man. He had one guy, walk around with the horse, with the shabby guy, friendly guy. So they give you, when you see, but not most of the time you don't see, because you talk about 1,000 acres. No, it's going to be anywhere,
Right.
If you go there in the morning or time, maybe you see them over there. So they give you a piece of paper. It says John. John, the initial, the last name. So the name was John. And the piece of paper, just a square piece of paper, just like that, like after that deck, they want to play cards. The name they give you, they said the permission you have. But sometimes you couldn't find them. You needed the wood, what do? You take a chance. Most of the time nobody bought,
So this little piece of paper that was like a permit.
Yeah, there was a permit. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, somehow he couldn't find there. I don't know how was the situation. Well, they arrest him.
Mm-hmm.
So when my father find out, he said, "My God," he said, "what am I gonna do?" There is a federal offense, So I had to get a criminal lawyer. So for gotta come with some wood. So my father went to see this lawyer in Germany, which is maybe 40 miles from my own town. It's another town in between. They go over there. The next town over is Ricotta, then it's Germany. We go over there, get this lawyer, supposed to be a top lawyer. My father explained our situation, and the guy, my father said, "I ain't got much money, I said, "Well, whatever you can do, you tell me you can do something." The guy reached in his wallet, he opened the time 1,000-liter jar, and the guy was so big like a sheets. We see a big sheets in the bed. The thing was so big. He folded up, but 5 times to put in his wallet. And he said, my father said, "Joe, look, what time I got this money, what am I gonna do? Wipe my ass with the money. How can they do nothing? I can't buy nothing. It's nothing to buy." See, he had a wife, a 2 little girl. See, my family starved. CSA, look me, I can't do nothing. I'm a lawyer. What I do? If I earn a lot of money, I can't buy nothing. So my father told him, "Well, I said, what are you gonna do for my brother?" I said, try to scrounge something to bring to you, So the lawyer went and trial, which you didn't even go to court or nothing. You go almost talk to somebody and they should squash that thing down. And after that, my father went to go see the lawyer to bring something to eat. He brought 5 kilograms of flour, which a kilogram, I say, is about maybe 3 pounds of weight, the measure,
Yeah.
And 5 pounds of flour and a loaf of bread, and there a little bag with the pasta, almost made of pasta. This guy, he hugged my father, he started to cry right there, And he said, "My God," he said, "you saved my life." He said, "My favorite life." Because everybody starved. And you believe this guy, after, what the hell, it's about almost 50 years, for Christmas, Easter, all the major holiday, this guy still remembers, send a card to my father. "Thank you for saving my family," He said, that thing is there, it's happening then, man. You think about it, say, my God, it's really that bad? What are the things,
There was something like 50 years.
Well, it's right after the war, Joe. Right after the war. you know? The hell, I was born in 39, I was maybe 3 years old. Maybe I was not even 4 years old when my grandfather was talking to those American soldiers.
Right.
You know?
So, like, how long was he sending the car? Years?
4 years. Oh, yeah, years.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, things like that. You talk about criminal lawyers, Joe. Those guys that know all over this Italy, you know? Like a criminal lawyer over here, what the hell? You hear the name, you know already who they are. If you had to pay, what the hell? My father never could afford to pay this lawyer, you know? No? So I think it was.
So jumping forward a little bit, I got some notes here. No meat to eat unless chicken killed on the road.
The chicken, there was the only meat that we ate was holiday, major holiday, Christmas or Easter. That's it. You know, unless a chicken, sometimes a pony, small pony or a little calf running around, you know, and they kill a chicken, step over the chicken and kill. Well, that's the only meat that we were eating, you know. Butcher shop, what the hell? I never remember the time I go in a butcher shop and could buy meat. We have no money. We had the chicken, the rest of the, you know, every the eggs. You know what we do the eggs? The salad.
Yeah.
The only money baby had coming. What's it there? Sell the egg, a dozen eggs, and they give you a couple of dollars, you know, not dollar a liter, and they buy, you know. One time, what the hell was it before I came over here? My sister Gina was 16 years old. And she told my mother, said, Ma, I need a dress. My mother, tears coming out of her eyes, you know. She said, hey, daughter, if you have the money, I will buy a two dress and not one. And right there, man, I tell you, like if somebody stabbed him in my heart. He said, my God. Right there, I said, my mother, Ma, I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't care about my father. My father wanted keeping me there because he wanted I was his strong arm. You know, I had to stay there, work with them. If I was going, there wasn't nobody with them. My brother Sam became a barber, beautician. My other brother was younger, become a tailor. I wasn't the only one. I haven't become a mechanic. You know, I had all that kind of books. I mean, all about mechanic. The one in the service, me to read about mechanic, everything possible. That's what I want to do, mechanic. Well, by then I was 18 years old. Last time I told him I wanted to go in a bigger city to mechanic, start to work mechanic. You know what I told him? What the hell, I was 18 years old. When you grow up, you know what you want to be. Okay. This is the last thing I ever say anything about that matter. I told my mother, I'm gone. So right there when they get a passport, and without saying anything to him, my mom knew about it. Supposedly she told him, well, I went to work in Switzerland. I stayed there a while. What the hell, you know? Well then, I go over there and I did nothing for myself. Nothing. I get that paycheck automatically. I send home. I sent it to my mother. I said, what the hell? Not can afford to buy a dress to my sister, you know. Food, like I said, food, you don't worry about it. We could eat, you know. Not necessarily meat, but we need stuff. Yeah, what the hell? You know, when I think about it, I say, what the hell? Why did the why?
Why don't you get into the ants incident? That was back in Italy. The ants and the.
The ants and the pasta?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was a little kid, Joe. Little kid. The first time they take me to the farm, to be there in the summertime, I stayed there with my uncle and my father just to bring the stuff home to export, So while he went, it usually take 2 hours. Take an hour one way and another hour the other way. But then you gotta give it the time into most of the time at the grain you go on the second floor. So you get a 100-pound bag, which is to mule is four grain bags. You gotta bring in the second floor, dump it, and then come back and bring the empty bag with you. That's what it's doing. Well, while he was gone, he got 4 hours. 2 hours to come back. So my uncle cooked the pasta, which was fine, and everything was fine. Well, then when they put it on top of the rock, because my father wasn't out there yet, didn't realize he left that thing there, and the ants onto the rock was full of ants. So the ants must have smelled the food, I don't know, and they migrated inside the pan. So my father was not there yet. No, it started to get dark then, So my uncle did store up, the ants and everything. So when they thought was die of laughing. So I'm not gonna cook again. So yeah, I eat it too. Of course I didn't know. I knew. I eat it. I didn't pay no attention. Kids, what they are. Well, my father, after to finish, he must have been starving too, because traveling, walking. And when they finished eating, this boy said something crunchy. So my uncle said, I put some spicy, green.
So how many siblings did you have in total?
How many?
Yeah. Siblings.
I'm a sibling. I was 4 brothers and 3 sisters. Me, Uncle Sam, Phil, and Jack. And there was Gina, Pina, and Nancy. 3 girls.
And then, so you went to go work in Switzerland.
Oh yeah, I went to work in Switzerland. That weather was cold than hell. There's no milk in the mountain. And the street was like a river. The water melted on us. My God, cold. And then we work outside. And they bundle up, so do put a sewer and water line, Dig up at the other one of those, on the first, what they call the trencher. They know what they call it, excavator. Was excavator? There was a weird rock, Was a flat, 2-wheel on the one side and the back, and 2-wheel on the side and the back, and the front was just a single wheel with a bucket like that. One of the first things that I ever seen. I was to do a good job, and I worked there. Was a cousin of mine. They was there a year before. He told me. I told him, he said, if you can talk to the boss, I'm interested on. Go for at least 3-4 months anyway. When the weather started to get nice, I go back and do what I know how to do.
When was it? When you roughly?
When it was?
Yeah.
Oh.
That you went to Switzerland.
This was. Was it just before the military? I'm pretty sure it was before I went into service.
Okay. So how old were you?
17 maybe.
The late 50s?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so yeah, you were telling the story of leading up to coming out to America, and then you said you came to the States. You didn't really know any English.
Joe, we came over here because of my mother. You know, my mother, she when I was over here, my grandparents were over there, and they stayed with our grandpa, take care of my grandparents. All my mother family, they were over here. Anthony and Chuck Sciolino's mom, they're all his brothers. They were still over there, you know. But because he was a citizen, my Uncle Benny and my aunt and aunts, they were born over here in this country. So when my grandfather was here last time, and when he back in Italy, he took back my aunt and aunts, which was an infant, you know, small child, infant, you know, and left it behind over here my Auntie Josephine, my Uncle Tom, and my Uncle Frank. They were here in Jamestown. Well, they went, my grandparents went back, and they went in my hand. Then she come over here. Then my mother started, you know, worry about it. You know, say, my God, this is so lonely. I'm a fool. You know, surrounded with the people. Not anybody can be surrounded with people but still being lonely. You know, because they have no family there, no family of their own. You know, and so they say, oh my God, they said. And then my brother Sam, Mary's cousin, and they ended up to come over here too. And then my brother Sammy get the contract to my mother, my father to come over here. So we all end up to come over here after that. And so I end up here. Well, for everybody else it was fine, you know. My sister, my brother Jack, my brother Phil still were kids. Even they couldn't be in time to still go to school. What the hell, I was a grown up man, it's 24. I said, what the hell, I can't go to school, I gotta find a job. Gotta looking for work and not looking for school, you know. Well, like I say, I found this job in Italian family, Gioia Macaroni, on the Almond. And they give me opportunity to work with them. I mean, we work a lot of hours. I didn't bring home any money, you know. Minimum wages, what the hell? No, I just want to get a job where I can make money. I don't care if I work hard, you do this job. I don't really care. Just want me to make a good paycheck.
What was the place called?
Gioia Macaroni.
What'd you do there?
Do mostly clean up.
Okay.
Clean up, so. They were spill macaroni, stuff like that, and spill, you know, cut a board, pick up a big box, pile them up in big box and put in a bale those cardboard, stuff like that. When they need it, they put it be on the line of what the box, the pasta, but most of the time, women were doing that, you know. I worked there for a while, which wasn't bad. Then I went to Ohio. Worked in a clothes factory. There, I hate that place. I mean, they were making good money. But my God, the people, they were like vultures. See, they got a bundle of clothes, you know, they tailor the car, and then they start to see, my goodness, one guy put a sew part, then the guy, then next part, until the thing is complete, with the leaves, color, and everything. Well, yeah, I knew that, what the hell, I don't know this stuff. And they were fighting me to get the wrong bundle to work. Oh, you can't touch that, that's the army. They pay more money there. You do temporarily here, you can't work there. Okay. So we get another one. And then the other one is everything. You know, I said, well, oh my God, had a hard time fighting with the people. I said, what the hell? I don't want to hear, I'm going to do here and make a living, you know? I don't want to be here to fight. And then I couldn't take it no more. No, then they put him up, press the collar before they put it in the soup. Well, when you do that, you press the collar, it's an easy job to do that. What the hell? At the end of the day, what the hell you got a 800, 900 collar you already press it during the day. Well now, every collar you make, they give you like a stamp. A stamp that you gotta put in the book. The book, you know, and then you turn them in and they tell you how much you earn. No. Start to put this thing, you know, I tried to put the stamp on the book on my break, on my lunch. I never have enough time to put the stamp. People say, no, you take it home. When I said the first time, it's be damn. I'm taking this thing home. I gotta work it from home. On my spare time and my free time, used to earn them. Oh man, I wonder what they said. They said, you know what? Thank you very much. They give me the opportunity to work. He said, this job is enough for me. I laughed. I want to work in construction, do concrete. I don't care. I don't really care. Yeah. From that, ended up working for concrete work, the sewer pipeline, you know, Chimato Brothers from Embers, you know, the big company. And so I did. Then I had the opportunity to get work for Jellamore. And then when I got there, I said, oh my God, you know, this is what am I gonna say? Because I was inside the job. Money was good, the benefits, that's it. And now this is the job for me. I stayed there the rest of the time. You know. Thank God that I did that.
So when was it around that you started working for them?
And then '69, I started working for General Moore.
Okay. I just wanted, because I got it on here, but it's a good point. Obviously, around that time you got married. When was it around that you met Grandma?
I married your mother because of her sister married Uncle Chuck. Uncle Chuck and me, we cousin. So I saw my wife, you know, one time here there. I think it was in Nancy, first Christmas party or something like that. Yeah, I talked to her. But because the problem was that I couldn't understand English, you know. So I told Uncle Chuck, so we go for a date, both of us. But then I wasn't so aggravated, you know. I couldn't say a word, you know. So when I said, I'm not gonna do this no more. So then we went back to drop her off, thinking to do stupid thing to do, you know. So what I was supposed to do, get up, follow her out to that door, and thank you for it. What the hell, I was so aggravated because, you know, the language, I couldn't speak anything.
Communicate.
They communicated. And they challenged me, go ahead, can you follow? No. I had just to stay there, I didn't go. I said what? So she got aggravated with me, said, I don't want to go out with you no more. That's it. And then he's off for a while. I don't know how many months it was. But then somehow we got together again and hey, what the hell have we been together over 50 years? So, you know. I probably asked her a couple of times. Somehow I don't remember how happened, you know. The language, the worst part. Don't be able to communicate, you know, for whatever I know, you know, the training that I had for mechanic. I couldn't do the best job it was in General Motors, mechanic, machine repair, those things. I couldn't do anything. Because I see those people working, oh my God, when they need a couple of hours, they spend all day, you know. I don't know, maybe they're milking the job, so they work, you know. I said, what the hell, I can get the job done in no time at all. Hey, I did okay, yeah. Started at the bottom of the barrel, and then working my way up. When I put in my 20 years, what the hell was a job and nobody bothered me. I did my work. When I finish, you're on your own, you know. After that, do what you want to do, read the paper. If anything come up, the boss will need you, you know where to find me, so do whatever I do. Grandpa was working was a school, a church. There was a school right next to the church. It wasn't knocking down the school.
This is your father.
Huh?
Your
No,
father.
grandfather.
Your grandfather.
Grandpa Spano.
Okay.
When the floor collapsed, yeah. It was near Broadway, near the Broadway market. Parker Street, no, so one street like that. And knock it down this place, so Papa took all the window off and everything, bricks and all that. And salvage everything he could salvage. So the time I was at work, at night, second shift. So before I go to work, I stop by there, see what's going on, you know. There are 4 or 5 guys who work for him.
What was his business?
Well, Grandpa was a demolition. But Grandpa was to do, you know, Grandpa Spano was to do everything. Contractor, you know, do concrete, you know, build a shed, build a garage, build, you know, it was a general contract. You know.
So you were working with him?
Well, the time I was to work at Chevy.
Okay.
Well, because I was to work at second shift, I used to go there. To have something to do, to see what's you gonna do, what are you doing, if you need anything. I pass by there. So when I was there, 4 or 5 guys work, and they take part of the roof off over there. So here, this was on the 3rd floor. He had a 50-gallon drum.
Mm-hmm.
They burn the wood to keep it warm because it was in the middle of the winter.
This building's like run down?
No, the building was good.
Oh, okay.
Well, see, when they started to knock it down, all the lumber, the lats and stuff like that, all the thing, you know, you knock it down and you keep it burning. You know, you got enough wood to burn. Well, what happened? He say, "Do you have a saw?" Yeah, I have a skillet saw there in the truck. I said, what are you gonna do with a saw? He said, you can't use it. So, he says, we got a power by the front door. Is it by the? Oh, okay. So I go in the truck and go get the saw. The meantime, before I went there, he had a car and a couple of the guys, they gotta knock it down the ref, you know,
the rafters?
Yeah, the rafter in the part they had on the top like that. It was like a dome, it wasn't a gym. You know, they was like that, you know. This thing was tied up and it grew like that. It was a hole together like that, but the point like that, cut up an angle. Wasn't no place else. And the bomb set on top the wall, and top of that wasn't no nail, no screws, and nothing. So Papa told the guy, what's a car, a black guy, go over there with the sledgehammer and the whacker there, knock one piece off. The guy told him, Dan, if you do that, I think we're gonna go for a ride. So they said, no, what about the guy there? So when the guy did, this was the 1 hour go get at the store. Okay? Go get the store. 1 hour, I'm there, close the door of the shop, a sudden I hear this noise, poof, poof, you know. And now all this, like was this bomb exploded inside. All that dust that blew out from every window. So, oh my God, what the hell happened? So I run over there and go to the front door. I couldn't go to the front door. From the door, all the floor, from the second floor, collapsed. It was bent like this. You know, the floor is, couple of there, and they kind of fold over and they block the door completely. I said, what the hell, I know I gotta go from here, gotta go all the way next block. Go right from the other door. From the other door, I mean, I was okay. But every couple of steps, you gotta go around, because all the ceiling and floor, the second floor collapsed. The whole building collapsed. So I had to climb over and over just to find my way to go back where it was. Because I don't know what the hell happened.
Right.
So that is, my God, it's still in dust. Couldn't see a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got there, everybody with their face like a ghost, scared, just froze. So I go over there and see Papa Barry, sit down there from here down. I couldn't see the lake. All the stone, it was a flat roof. All the stone that was on top of the roof, you should lie down and bury him, I say, my God, what the hell how am I gonna do this? The tools, they're all buried. We couldn't find any tools. So I told the guys, but then the barrel, if it go on jump, fall over, it started burning, spread the fire. So I told this guy, what the hell, what you guys are doing? Go find some water for crying out loud, don't stare at me. Over there, find something, do something.
Right.
So, it's time I tried to dig them up. I dig them up a little bit, and now I try to pull them up. They start to scream, oh my God, And now I noticed this foot was like that, but the foot was over here, facing this way. I say, oh my God, this situation is bad. I say, oh, what the hell am I gonna do? I dig it up in my hands. This is all bleeding. Get them stone water out on my skin right now. So finally, I don't know how I did it. When I dig them up, I go to find out I couldn't stand them up because I was screaming. One is foot, there was a crumble up like a cornflake. It was a crack, like a pelvis bone. He had a true crack in the pelvis bone. The foot and the couple of ribs. So what I did, I went on my hands and knees right next to him. Just one hand, I grabbed his arm on that side, so I pulled it this way. I said, Charlie, the most I can do is, I said, you better give me, better help me because that's why. Nothing I can do. You have to wait to call an ambulance or something. At that time, we were no cell phone, nothing. So, I don't know how I did, Joe. Finally, I put him in my back, what's my nigga knee, put in my back. Finally, my hand up on my shoulder. I got on my knee, and finally, I forced myself, I get on stand up in my leg. Now, I say, you don't realize, you talk about 230 pounds. And now I gotta go across. Across all the pile of wood all over the place with the hammer on top of me. It seems every step that I make it seems like I shrink a couple inches, the weight, Now I get her to the step, Now the second floor because we ended up be on the second floor. The third floor gone. It's there all over the place, you know. And they gotta go over, climb over, go around. It's what the hell, maybe 50 yards. You gotta walk half a mile to go on the other side. And I find I'm walking towards the parking lot. Go in my truck, I set them in my truck. Hey, bro, I brought it to 6th Hospital. So when I get over there, the doctor checked him out. And then when they saw the situation, they tried to pull his foot. Maybe it was a dislocate.
Yeah.
He pulled, he started screaming, oh my God. Oh, I mean, he was a tough, and never could take a pain, tough guy, you know. And the doctor noticed he needed more than that. And they told him the heel of his foot was crumbled up completely. Matter of fact, they had a fuse in the bone. I mean, the bone is like a rock. They fuse it together. You couldn't bend the foot to anything, like you bend it like that. No. They stayed in the hospital. Then over there, as soon as the doctor gave him a couple of shots of morphine.
Mm-hmm.
So they come out. You know, he feel no pain. Then they started giving the doctor a hard time. Because, you know, it's a kind of person you don't want to be tied up, and no matter what. So I want to go home, I want to go. The doctor told him, Mr. Spano, if you go home, before you get home, you wish you never did it because of the pain. You're not gonna be able to, you know. Well, he went home. What the hell? Well, they even took him back in the hospital. And he was there for a while. And then, he was walking around, not kind of limp. He wasn't walking just with a stiff leg because what the hell? He had a trouble with the pelvis bone and the foot. You couldn't bend the foot like you bend it, no, you can't bend the foot.
So what happened when he went home from the hospital initially? After he got shot with the morphine, what happened?
Why he went home? Mm-hmm. When he got shot, they shot him with the morphine. He wanted to go home.
He didn't feel anything after he was numb.
Yeah, it wasn't numb. That's why he wanted to go home so bad. He fought with that doctor. And when this Uncle Greg, I don't know if you remember, would you see his Grandma Spano brother, Uncle Sam and Uncle Greg. Uncle Greg told Danny, you better listen to that doctor because they know what they're talking about. You know, so, oh, okay. And he got home, then he realized the pain. But then, through the night, they rushed him back in the hospital.
So you had to carry him down the flight of stairs and across the level to the truck.
Yeah, the flight of stairs just to go from one end of the school to the other end, fight over the debris of the lights, lumber, or everything that fall from the toward the floor, roof and everything. It fall down, and, you know, like a disaster area was. So I had to get go back and forth. And every step I take, say, my God, was a shake. I'm not gonna make this. I can't make it. Every step, a rest. He was about 230 pounds. How could possible maneuver to put him in my bag? And from there, my hand and knee got up, and they walk. You see me those steps and never finish, you know, go up, down every time I step, Joe, God, see me like in my spine was compressing, you know. Well, thank God I made it. And when I think about it, I say, oh, no, I guess when you have to do things, you get on the strength somehow.
Yeah, you find the strength to
power
through.
Find the strength that you never think you could have it.
So you dug them out by hand out the rubble. That's what you're saying.
Sure. When the thing collapsed, they had a shovel, they had a hatchet, they had a medic to the thing, Everything was buried.
All the tools were.
Everything was buried. Yeah.
All right. So moving forward from there, this is a lot of random, miscellaneous stuff. Maybe even more lighthearted, but it just says the general topic is living off the land. If you want to talk a little bit about that, and here are some of the ideas, some of the properties that you owned and had, hunting.
Well, later in life, when I came over here, I started to work. All the way I wanted to have a shotgun, Go hunting, do something that I like it. So, when I started work, I make good money. I never asked my father for anything. So I decided, what the hell, I'm old enough. I want to buy my gun. My father gave a hell. To me, I didn't say nothing. He gave hell to my mother. And my mother thought, hey, he's old enough. Whenever I gun, he can have a gun. He didn't ask you for money. What the hell are you interfering with his life? That time I wasn't married yet. So, well, like I say, Em and I we never get along. We didn't talk, we not communicate. Some people, my brother say, well, he grew up, he didn't have a father. Because his father died in World War I. When my father was the oldest one of the three boys, he was 9 years old. So there was a 7 and a 5, 2 years apart. And my grandmother deterred him, I never decided anything, all the way keeping under a thumb. He was intimidated, not terrorized from his mother. And they tried to do the same thing with us. Why he couldn't do with me? Because sometimes, was to do things, something, the other people did something and they blaming me. Like one time, my cousin, this guy I see when I went over at Joe Mozzarella, kids, in the morning, I don't know what my father cooked, and they gave me a container to bring it to my grandmother. So I go over there, saw this guy, Joe Mozzarella, the drugstore, he stole the new doorbell, the electrical doorbell, So this idiot saw me walk over there, and then before, she go over there, and they ring the doorbell for the drugstore. But the guy live upstairs, You look over there, look at the guy when he heard the bell, he looked, he saw me carry the container. So he thought it was me, because he ran away. Joe Bazzella ran away. So he saw me and blamed me, like I did the wrong ring bell. And I guess he pushed that damn thing too hard, and the thing stuck, and melted the wire down, So my uncle, which is the guy that went in jail, he was the electrician for the old town.
So tell me a little bit more about the living off the land. I got some stuff here. We can get into the properties that you own in a second. We can get into that.
From over here?
Yeah.
Over here, the first property we bought was in Eden, the other side of Hamburg. We had 40 acres in the nice land, best land around. It was with Uncle Chuck. We bought it. Never did anything.
There were 7 people there.
They were garden. They did a garden there. We used to go there in summer and park it. They have a trailer, a tent. You know, go. I used to the weekend we go over there.
How about the snakes?
But then there was the snake was where the house was on the other
Oh.
side. Then the other house, and then the other side
All
where the
brick.
first top of that.
House old. Full of
That's all
snakes.
there was. See, the basement was open. You got like a window. The window was knocked out, and was open. So the snake made a nest there. You know, they all recruit there in the winter time, and they stay there. Nobody bothered in the basement. Nobody lived there. Then they started, when they started warming up, and they started migrating all over the place. Anytime I turn around, I said, my God, there's snakes all over the place. Yeah, I hate snakes. My sister, forget it. She'd take off,
I
you
think-
know.
In Italy, I think they had something where they really hate snakes.
Well, in Italy, this snake,
Yeah.
the nasty one. I mean, if you see a snake, you better defend yourself and kill him or run. That's it.
It's got some stuff here about gardening and specifically about how you always collected manure whenever you could. There's even something about pigeon manure.
Right.
In the
Pigeon
school?
manure, the chicken manure. We used to go in there and get the farmer chicken. It was a chicken they farm in Clarence, which now is the biggest chicken they farm around here. Now they got, used to be one barn alone. Now I think they got half a dozen barn. It's really big. I used to go there, me and Uncle Tony. You know, the chicken, they are like on top, you know, and the barn, and they say where all the poop fall. They stay on the screen, and we used to go there, not to get it filled up with the poop, go there with a shovel, with a garbage can or whatever, container, whatever we had it. One guy holding a big piece of cardboard, 2 covers you had in the, and the other guy shoveled the stuff and put it in the container we have, and then we go. And then the day you find a feather, wing, when the chicken died, they fall down through, they knock it down. And then that was the manure we use on the garden. The chicken was the best manure, everything. Was hot, well, they grow like crazy. Meaning we put the manure like before the winter, and let us soak it there all winter long with rain and snowing, and then disintegrate, you know, don't smell no more, nothing. Then you tiller, you plant the stuff, and the thing will grow like crazy. We had a tomato next to the garden, taller than this room. We put a post to climb on, was 7 feet tall. The damn thing, it climbed all the way on top, tie them up with a string, and then they come down all the way in the ground. They start to crawl all over the place. Now the best tomatoes I ever had. It. Then we knocked it down a place in Seneca, Michigan. The place was Borgia wallpaper. They used to make a wallpaper there. And the window were broke. And the second floor, I mean, there was pile and pile. Oh, pigeons in manure.
Pigeon poop.
Oh my God. I wasn't working there because knocked the building down. I said, what the hell, this is the best stuff. No weeds, no nothing. You get the horse manure. They got their straw, they eat. The horses, they don't digest the food. It's like the elephant, you know. And when they eat it, you know, the seeds go through the poop, and they grow like crazy because it's like a fertilizer,
Right.
you know. And so you throw the stuff in the garden, you plant the seeds in your garden, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you want something that there is no seeds.
So because you get into the hunting, talk a little bit about some of the hunting with family and friends and.
Well, at the beginning, we didn't no places to go. So
Talk about when you shot your toe off. You want to know that story?
we go hunting, but we need a place to go. You know, so we get a bunch of guys, people have been hunting for years, old timers. So we get a car and started driving. Find a part where there's a lot of woods, you know, between, you know, open the field and go in the woods, you know. You look in like one corner of the woods and you can see the deer, they start moving back and forth. That's all. But sometimes you end up driving for an hour because they don't leave it early in the morning because when they allow the camera, you gotta be there already, because in the woods.
Tell 'em about the dog.
Huh?
Tell 'em about the dog we got shot.
I can't jump and go there, you know.
You gotta get the exciting parts in.
That's okay, I'll make you happy. We go hunting for rabbit, not deers, rabbit. It's me, Uncle Tony Ortolano, Rosario Cipolla, and Sammy Panzarelli, 4 or 5 guys. So we walk, open the field, and there was just a little fence, not chain link, barbed wire fence, but it was all broken down, the wire down and everything. So everybody wanted ready to go. It was about 12 o'clock on a weekend, so everyone to go. So soon as we crossed the fence, the dog spooked a rabbit, so they take off. 3 beagles started walking, whoa, 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 whoa. So Tony shot one, Rosario shot another one on the other side. And before I went near the fence, I wasn't not close enough with the fence, I had my gun in my hands like this. You know. I was running because I see another rabbit coming the other way.
And where was your finger?
My eye.
No. Never run with your finger on the trigger, Joe. It keeps you.
I mean, all of a sudden I see the rabbit is in front of me. So what happened, while I was running, this foot caught in a piece of fence. It was on the ground, bare on the ground, it's like a loop right there sticking out. My foot hanging there, I fall. I fall face down, now I got my gun and my finger. When I fall, the gun and the barrel of the gun is right here. And I didn't pull the trigger. I guess with the pressure, when I fall, I got the pressure of the trigger, you know, pull the trigger. And, you know, I found a thing, I didn't felt no pain at all. The only thing that I felt like this
burning.
eerie burning sensation go through my head. That's how I felt, no pain. It didn't bleed. Think of that flame, and it was so close. The flame is sealed the whole thing up, burned nothing, not even a drop of blood.
But who carried you out then?
That's my friend. He put me on his back, and he carried me. I bet you it was over a mile. That's it. This is the story there. The cop investigated if somebody shoot.
Yeah, because
Who made
it's
it?
shooting, so
You
they can
know,
investigate to
the
see if
hospital.
anybody shot him.
Detective, you know.
Yeah,
So I call
it's a
Uncle
big
Tony.
thing then.
Uncle Tony, the other guy testified, you know, what happened, you know.
But just think if he would have had that gun the other way,
Right.
blew his head up.
Come on, if things happen.
Suicidal.
When things happen, what do you think they would do, you know? If you know the future was gonna be, what the hell, you try to be safe as possible. I was running, I told you that,
Yes, I am.
running. So hold the gun.
Running with the
I don't want the
finger.
rabbit to get away from me. Your father was scared. Scared when he went in the foot like that,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
Bandage,
You know
he
what?
was scared. You know, when you don't want to come, you don't want to come and hear me.
Yep.
Because I
Father,
scared.
when he saw the foot all bandaged and everything. And then we had the baby pull out. Your father wouldn't take his socks off.
Yeah, and then he keep his socks. It's something, you know, this
Traumatized.
I should have never brought.
Yeah.
He was only like 3, I think.
Yeah, traumatized and
He got
then
traumatized.
you don't
when I
want to
took
show
him
his toe.
see
Maybe he
him.
was thinking of the missed toe. No, you know,
Yeah.
you don't know.
He would not take his socks off. Your father to go in the pool with the kids.
You know, and the funny thing,
Yeah, the toe's gone.
for a while.
And the boot had a hole like that in it.
Oh yeah, on
Did
top, and the butt was even bigger.
Yeah. Did you ever throw those boots out?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you had to give any advice towards grandkids that are alive now, and your great grandkids, and possibly the next generation, just if you want to say anything.
Oh my God. The grandkids, especially the grandkids, said, "This is our life." Joe.
Oh, you would. What advice would you give them? Work hard.
Well, yeah, work hard and be nice to
Stay
people.
away from things. You know.
Respect the people like you want to be respected. You know, honor, respect other people. You don't want to push people around because you know, in this world, we all
Problems.
attached to each other. Believe it or not, you know, a person you never see before. You never know if you got a bump into it, working together, maybe next to each other. You know, just to have respect for everybody. That's all. It doesn't cost you nothing. No, just to be nice. So, do your best. You know, mind your own business. You know, and stick your nose to other people's problem. That's all it is. Work and earn the respect. You know, when they go to work for somebody, don't do the work half-fast. Good enough. You never do that. Do a work to give 100%, do a good work. So you gotta be good or no good. That's it. This way, you know, you get respect, they trust you, and never have to worry about it. Because you want to do a job, you want to do it once anyway. You don't want to keep it going back and forth to fix it up, you know. So how we earn the respect. I thank God, you never advertise nowhere. In the paper, yellow book, or the internet, anywhere. And he's got more work that he can handle, thank God. You know? So just mouth them out. Do a job for you, he's happy, you know, recommend some of the guy, he's a nice guy. That's the way I do things. And they earn the respect. You can't be respected unless you respect. You know? This is like
What do you say? Do unto others as others would do unto you. What do you
yeah,
say?
but I used to
What do
say
you
that
say?
purpose, you know.
You'd
I
say,
said,
do it to them before they do it to you.
What? What I used to say, no, sometimes, you know.
Well, you can't be
people.
with people stupid either. You
Well,
gotta
yeah,
be smart.
I mean, you don't want the people to step all over
Yeah,
you.
make a
You know,
fool out of
that's
you.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you know.
What's your recollection of like meeting Grandpa?
How we met it?
At a picnic.
Was it picnic or was it
When I-
Nancy's birthday or something?
No. Well, I saw you there too. At the picnic, remember we talked a little bit and then you started calling me, but your English was not too good.
Oh, but
And I said, I think you need to, I can't understand everything you're saying, so I think you need to go to school and learn better English. Remember?
I think
Then I started helping him with his English too. It was on Dorchester,
yeah.
54 years ago.
But Chucky was married to Angie.
Mm-hmm.
I think at one time, Chuck come and get your sister, and they took me for a ride. Came over there.
Where?
Your sister, right, Dorchester.
Oh.
Your sister was to do your hair. I think it's the first time I saw you. That was how many years ago? 50 some years? Ooh.
I know.
Imagine me put up with you 50 years. Oh gosh.
It's a long time. Stay single for a long time.
So he said there was a incident where he ended up staying with you for a while after a date because he didn't know how to communicate.
Well, he
Oh,
didn't
what?
stay with me now. You mean live
Which
with me?
one it up?
No, just
Oh.
that particular day or whatever.
Yeah,
No,
then we didn't talk
maybe
for a while, and he
about
was
6 months or so.
going to school and everything.
Then I was to go to school, then I started work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was
Then
asking
he,
him.
then
I
he
was
called
asking him
me up again.
how it rekindled. He said he didn't remember.
Then your
He
mother,
called me up again.
well, your mother never gave you the message. She,
No,
yeah, she say she know what to talk to.
she did not say that to you. Then we started going out, and we go to the movies every Saturday night, and then we go to the Swiss Chalet that used to be downtown on Main Street. That's what we did.
Yeah,
And then the other restaurant that was on the
at
corner.
that time, I didn't know my way around.
He was driving.
I didn't know my way around. I wasn't driving. Matter of fact, I drive over 6 months without a license.
I saw that on cops. You get arrested.
Without a license. Because I could drive. I mean, I have a driver license in Italy, the army. I could drive everything in a road.
It has nothing to do with
Anything. Any rig, crane, tractor trailer, anything I could drive. Well, the only thing was the language. I knew all the road sign and stuff like that. You know, I was cautious. You know, I live in the west side. I don't know if you know downtown. Couple blocks from downtown. There used to be a hospital, the Columbus Hospital there. Live a block away from there. And from there, every weekend we used to go on in Clarence, no, Williamsville. There's a Williamsville. There used to be a place there. All the young people used to go where they call a young set. You know, they had a band and then they sell alcohol, you know, potato chips, pop, stuff like
That was
that.
that place. My sister used to go.
No, it's
The
just,
hall. What do you call that?
sister
hall?
used to go in the locker room of the hotel, Dollarwood.
Oh yeah, Delwood.
Not that, your sister never came. And then we used to go there, you know. Yeah, I drove all the way from the west side over there, never had any problem. And then,
You didn't even have a license.
then I go for get the license, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because I failed like 3 times. Yeah, you know why? Because they put on the thing was hesitating. Because the officer told me like a turn left and a turn right or that. Then I go say, now I gotta think what that means in English, and then I gotta do. And then the minute time I think that the time is still adrift, you know, then they do that. They say I hesitated too much. Which was right, you know. It's tough if you don't understand the words. The words, then you kind of think, you know, English, what it means in English, you know. That's what happened. Well, like I say, thank God I never got stopped. I drove it over 6 months.
Not without a license check.
Without a license. Lou, I don't have a license. I have a permit. Yeah. I work over here with the Chimaro brothers over here just before Millisport.
You had the Cutlass.
Yeah. Brand new car. Yeah. At that time you couldn't buy a car even if you had a license. Your parents or your brother, somebody couldn't drive it for you. Yeah. Now I don't think you can buy a car if you don't have a license.
Brand new car was $3,300 years ago. I had a Camaro, $3,000, brand new off the showroom. Now,
It's
what are they?
pay for the colors.
50,000?
Colors are pretty much sport vehicle. I mean,
Yeah.
I think at a motor you push on the gas, you throw against the seat. Oh my God! Yeah.
That car was fast.
Fast. Ooh. And
So you have any closing thoughts, Grandma? Same thing, like advice, future grandkids and current grandkids and great grandchildren.
Just always work hard Always save a little money for the future because you never know when a rainy day comes. That's number one. And always be honest and respectful of people. You'll get it back. Unless they're real.
Always try to invest your money. Nah, stock market and stuff like that. I don't believe in that.
Mm-mm.
You save your money, buy property. Property,
Oh, yeah.
what is it worth the effort to buy? You know, my grandfather always say, sell it before you buy. If you gotta buy a piece of property,
Oh, yeah. You look all around.
you look all around, look at the neighborhood, and
where
say,
it's at,
if
location.
you decide, before you buy, see, if you don't decide to sell this house,
Yeah.
can they sell it away?
Some
So
people
they
buy a
gotta put it in
property
your mind. You know,
just next to a store or a bar or
everything.
something.
You look at everything.
Because it's cheap? No.
You know, buy a house in a better neighborhood or some corner that they enter the, like over here in the street over here in Brighton and Eggert, right next to the gas station. This is a house, a pretty house. Why isn't got
Yeah,
no
he
yard?
No, he never got to sell
No
it.
yard.
It's still there.
He figures it up in the front of the yard, it's a yard. Put a flower and bushes away in front of the house. He got nothing, because he got a driveway and the garage.
Then you
That's it.
try to get out of that street, you know, like
Because
that.
they get out, because all the way traffic,
Right.
and this and the light, or the car is parked there, you never get out of the driveway.
Mhm.
He tried to sell it for a couple of times, then they give it up. Property, good property, you never lose it. You know, all the way hold the value. Cars, trucks,
Yeah.
forget it. This is the worst investment. Because a brand new vehicle you buy, soon you get out of from the dealer and bring it home, you try to sell, the only way you lost is $2,000. Even if you don't put in no mileage at all.
But we all need the cars to get around, so
So
I wouldn't invest in a junk.
So what do you think, Grandma?
For the grandkids, for them to grow up to be honest with each other, loving, caring, and kind. Do unto others, like I said.
and never
But
be
don't take any BS either from anybody.
never
that you
be
think is
greedy.
Think they're better
Never
than
be
you,
greedy
you know?
about money.
Mm-mm.
No, because it's family. They're all love it. When the parents die and they leave a little money, that's it. They say
Yeah.
the end of the
They
family.
fight.
They fight for their little money and then they never talk
To
again.
their brothers or sisters
And a
again.
lot of this thing happen,
Mhm.
you know.